Good morning, beloved family. Welcome to our Monday session, our celebration of oneness and enlightenment and wholeness and whatever comes with all of that wonderful stuff. Are you with me? Yeah. Okay, let's start with our morning affirmation. This is where we declare who we really are. I'm going to put it up on the screen. So here we go. Join me in this. I am as God created me. If I remain as God created me, fear has no meaning, evil is not real, and misery and death do not exist. I am as God created me. Let's do this one more time and just really feel the impact of these words, because if this is true, if what we're reading here and saying here is true, this is the whole solution, the only solution we need. So let's do it one more time. I am as God created me. If I remain as God created me, fear has no meaning, evil is not real, and misery and death do not exist. I am as God created me. Just feel that for a moment. If I remain as I was created, whole, perfect, and complete, then there's nothing else that needs to be said or done or realized. Everything is done. It's all done within me. There's nothing that's incomplete. Really, this is the whole framework and foundation of the ego. There's something incomplete within you. You are not whole, and certainly you are not holy. But we recognize now through seeing this in others, giving this gift away, because what I give to thee is received by me, through giving this to each other, seeing this in each other, allowing this to be true no matter what, especially in situations where it seems to be completely untrue, when you're with someone who just annoys the heck out of you. To look through that and to realize this is my opportunity right now to practice this for real. Not just to have lovely words or books or gatherings, but to really, really fully embrace and to be this light. Why else would we be here? And that's why we join, because it's really lovely to join with this lovely family, because we know we're all tracking the same light. And yet this gives us the power and the energy that we need so that when we're at our jobs with our families, I might be going back to Minnesota at some point soon. That's when the challenge really begins. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. Or wherever. Last night, I had the strangest dream where my sister, who is always late. You have any siblings like this? I mean, ever since she was a kid, she would always be late for everything. And so I had this dream last night where I was so frustrated with her because we were waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. But then I woke up, and guess what? None of that was real. I chose in the dream to be frustrated, to be angry at her. And even for a moment, I woke up in my bed. It wasn't even time to wake up, but I woke up and I could still feel the residual effect of being angry at my sister for being so, but then it just becomes silly. Like, it's not, I just said, roll over and go back to sleep. It wasn't real. And this is what we're doing here every day. We're realizing the real, and letting the real take hold of us, because it's never really let go of us in the first place. But we have been unable to feel that, to know that. And so we make believe that the real is not real, or that the unreal is real, or that the dream is reality. Well, now we've come to the point where we accept the atonement for ourselves. We accept the atonement that has already been done within us. Okay, sound good? Good place to begin? All right, well, that being said, we're going to, every once in a while, I'm going to just go back and find a lesson from a previous day, maybe a few months ago, because it's always good to go back and to hear some of these again so we can dive even deeper. So this morning I was just kind of going through a few, and this is the one I came up with. So let me bring it up on the screen. Okay, so this is called, as you can see, Let Go and Let God. Let's work our way through this. Release, thank you, release the mental struggle. Release the mental struggle and the need to know, and simply allow yourself to be known. Allow yourself to be known by love. Let go of the intellectual desire to understand or to figure it out, and simply allow yourself to be understood. Allow yourself to be understood. The truth within you is always known and understood by God, clearly, but you have made the decision, though you forgot that it was your decision, to not know or to understand yourself with a capital S. You have chosen to not know or to not understand who you really are or your reality, the truth within you that has always been true. Choosing instead to know, and here's the key, choosing to know what could never be known by God. That's the difference. We either choose to know what has always been known by love or God or the divine or however you want to see or feel that, or we choose to not, or we choose to try to know what could never be known. And then it cancels everything that could possibly be known out. And this is what the ego mind does. It tries to make the impossible possible. And all this is saying is just relax. Just allow yourself to know what has always been known. And what is that? Well, it's everything we share every day. You are whole, you are perfect, you are complete right here, right now. You're going through stuff, I get it. But even in the midst of whatever stuff you're going through, this can buoy you. This can lift you. This can allow you to move to that higher place where the deal is done. Okay, so here's the problem. What can never be known by God can never be known by you. Notice the difference between capital K's or capital letters in general. So in this case, anything that is known by God is a capital K. Once again, what can never be known by God can never be known by you, though you refuse to fully accept this. You still think it's possible for you to know something other than what is known. You've created an illusory self of knowledge, sense of knowledge, an illusory sense of knowledge, or knowing yourself, but the self with a small s that you believe you know with a small k is not real. The self that you think you know is not known by God, which is one of the most confrontational things that we've ever learned, which is the opposite of what we've always been told, isn't it? God is watching over you. God is concerned about you. I don't think that's true. Because for me, God is the impersonal nature of love itself. Thank you. I just got a strong amen from our unity minister. That's why, the impersonal light, that's why I really resonate that. We want to personalize the deity. We want to think of a being out there, and we have these images of a being on a cloud looking down and somehow can know each one of you in your individual struggles. I just don't believe that. That doesn't feel, what I feel is it's more of I think that the Star Wars idea of the Force is probably the closest we can come. It's a unified force of love that gives us everything we ask for. The key is to start asking for what has truly been given and what can truly be received, rather than what could never be given or received. The only thing that is truly given by this force of love is love. So receive that. Don't compromise that. That's how simple this can be. Don't expect a deity or something outside yourself to give you something. Don't pray for something to be given to you. Otherwise, you're going to be like little Jimmy. I told you the story about the statue of Mary. I told you that story? Oh, some people maybe. Okay, I'll tell it again because it's a fun story. All right, so little Jimmy, little Jimmy, he can be a rascal. So little Jimmy, he hears that if you just ask Jesus for what you want, he'll give it to you. So he prays that night, please, I want a red bike, Jesus. Mom said if I pray real hard, you'll give it to me. He wakes up the next morning, no red bike. He tries one more the next night. He prays even harder. Please, Jesus, I'm really praying hard here. Please give me a red bike. Wakes up the next morning, no red bike. So he decides to take things into his own hands. So he goes up to the mantle above the fireplace, and there's a statue of Mary, the Blessed Mother. And so he takes it down, he wraps it up into some string, and he puts it into his backpack, and then he goes to school and he puts it in his locker. That night he's praying and he says, "Dear Jesus, if you ever want to see her mother again." This is what we do. This is how far we take it. The idea that there's someone either giving or not giving, and that we can force that if we want. I mean, really, it's a funny story, but it shows the insanity of it all. All right, let's go a little further. You've created an illusory self of knowledge, or knowing yourself, but the self that you believe you know, who you think you are, is not real. It's like believing that you know or understand a shadow. Shadows can never be known or understood. That makes sense, doesn't it? A shadow can never be really known or understood. But that which casts the shadow is always known with a capital K. That's a powerful one. A shadow can never be really known or understood, but that which casts the shadow is always known. So we're just really taking our focus off that shadow and bringing it back to the true self. The true self. Okay. Once again, let go of the struggle, and the struggle lets go of you. Isn't that nice? Can it really be so simple? I think it really is. Let go of the struggle, and the struggle lets go of you. Stop trying to wrap your mind around something that can never be real, and let reality wrap itself around you. The difference between these two experiences will be felt immediately because of the joy that will fill you, the peace that will overwhelm you. The difference between these two experiences will be felt immediately. It's like walking out of a dark room into the sunlight. There's no denying this shift. Just as there is no denying the difference between a dark room and standing outside on a sunny day, unless you refuse to see. If your eyes are closed, you'll be confused by the shift. It's time to open our eyes. If your eyes are closed, you may not witness the full evidence of your decision to leave a room filled with shadows. Once again, open your eyes and see what has always been seen. Know what has always been known. Okay, the Holy Spirit is calling you to open your eyes and see, that's what I just said, to see that which has always been seen by God. Anything that God sees can and will be seen by you. It's just a matter of time. You don't really have a choice in this. Actually, it's really just a matter of being released from time. So, why not now? Why not right now? Since now is the only time it can happen, and you can put off the now if you want, but it doesn't do you any good. I think we've all come to the point, just the fact that we're here, we've come to the point of realizing that I've burned through all of this. I've done everything I was told to do, or that I thought I should do, and it never led to what it said I would be or receive. But there's something else moving inside me. I feel something like a light that is burning inside me, and that's what I want. I want that to expand and to grow and to take over everything. I want it to burn away everything that is not like the light itself. And that's what's happening. So let it burn. Let yourself just burn in that holy fire. Speaking of holy fires, now we have Victoria, who is a burning ball of light, and we'd love to have you share and take it from there. Go ahead, Vicki.
Good morning, Brother James. Good
You got a
morning.
whole crew with you.
Yes, I have a whole family. But, you spoke about one of my friends, Mary. She's not tied up anymore. But just for a moment, I do want to recognize what holy help can look like. The force that is that gravitational pull into that experience of what we really are, what God is, it can pull us in. But sometimes it's easier to let go when we ride tandem. Have you ever jumped out of an airplane on a parachute? I bet you wish somebody were with you and somebody were tandem with you. Or if you were flying Diaz, she flies these little planes. First time you ever fly one of those planes, maybe it's a good idea if someone goes with you, you go tandem. And really, that's what we do here. Brothers here, visibly and invisibly, who have let go and live in the force of love. They know no care, no concern. They face everything with welcome and gratitude. We are called to live like that. But for a moment, it's good to have a helper. And we are helpers to one another right here in this room. That's why we come every day, because we can celebrate. Okay, we let go. Okay, I can't let go. Can you hold my hand a minute? And there's a host of invisible and visible helpers who are living fully in the gravitational pull of that force of love. And we are among them while we are here on earth. But there's a whole host of beings of every way that's joining with us and inviting us and helping us. So if we think we're alone, or that, I don't know how to let go, just open your heart and ask for help, visibly and invisibly, because the help to what we already are is effortless. It's just about us finally feeling strong enough. It's like having training wheels. It's okay to use training wheels. Training wheels helped me ride a bike when I was 5 years old. I'm glad I had training wheels. And, if I still need training wheels to live as the living light, that's okay. I'm grateful I have friends that will be my training wheels and hold my hands and give me example. So it is simply about, and if you're doing the lessons, accepting what we are, because we've been so busy accepting what we made ourselves up to be. We make ourselves up to be good little boys and girls, and then grown-ups who do good little things or big little things or bad, and then we're bound by what we made up. And it's almost too good to be true to think I can let it all go. I don't have to go through years of penance and figuring it out and oh my God, and making up and doing this and doing that. The truth is, in the twinkling of an eye, we can let it go. Not all of us do it in the twinkling of an eye. Some of us keep holding hands and do it very gradually. We keep looking in this direction of this field, of this force of light, and then we draw back a bit, and then we go closer again. But the truth is, when there's enough excitement and motivation, it can happen like that in the twinkling of an eye. Just, I'm going to do it. Why not today? Why not? Why not? I'm going to accept. It all says, all the evidence says, I'm a soul created by a creator that loves me. Just like I love what I make, the creator of me loves me and wants to take care of me. Why not let him? Why not let him? Why not? And then when I hit a bump in the road, I say, did you see that? Here we are. I'm at the bump in the road. Someone here to hold my hand a minute? There we are. We got hands to hold in every direction. I'm just going to wait a minute because what we have done, the need to understand, the need to figure out the shadow and everything else is nothing but the ego's desire to keep control. That's all the ego wants to do. It wants to keep that control. So it distracts us from total surrender, from total, okay, I'm just going to let go. Like if you fall out of an airplane with a parachute, you just let go. Not much to think about after that. You just let go and hope you can pull the string. So pull the string now. Let go. We can do it and find out. This is about direct experience. The most direct experience is letting go. And letting go the need to understand is one way of letting go control. And that's the ego's whole world, is a world of control. Forget about it. It can be done. There's no penance to make up. Nobody is guilty for dreaming. Nobody is guilty for making up fancy costumes and playing different parts in a play. No matter what. Like the guy that wrote Amazing Grace. Here he was selling slaves. He's on a boat, and all of a sudden, aha! Oh my God, what have I done? And in 1 second, a music pours through him from heaven that has come to every one of our ears on this planet. Because in a second, something in him let go. That's where we are. We live there. Live on this second and let every second. Thank you all for holding hands with each other and with me. Thank you, because we're letting go. And it is a simple twinkling of an eye. I'm not going to figure it out. I'm going to let the force of love carry me, take me through whatever muddles. Certainly there won't be worse than the muddles I made up. Let me find out. Thanks, Brother James. Thanks, everybody.
Wow. You are on fire this morning.
Well, I
Boy.
got my family, my tandem helpers.
Not bad for a Monday.
Yeah.
Boy, if the rest of the week is like this, we're going to ascend. We're out of here. Well, actually, that being said, there are two people who are almost out of here, who I would love to see if Megan and Michael would like to share a minute or so, because they're leaving tomorrow. They've been our Unity ministers here now for the last month, and we're going to be getting another bright light taking their place, I think, on Wednesday. But Michael and Megan, would you guys like to just pop on and add anything to what you've already heard? I'm going to step aside here.
Never ask a minister.
The answer will always be yes.
Yeah, the thing is, we can always come up with something to say. I don't know that we can put into words how blessed we feel for having spent time with all of you. The month seemed like a long time when we got here, but now it seems like it was just a blink. And I feel like our hearts have been opened in a way that is just a blessing, and that we never would have experienced had we not been here to spend time with you. And thank you, James, for creating this space and allowing us to be here. I just have to say, today my heart is really open. Today's the 9th anniversary of my son flying away with his angel wings into his spiritual form. And so I'm feeling very vulnerable at the same time that we are preparing to make another transition into another experience, and significantly, and that we're moving at the same time. So I have a feeling that we've planted seeds here and we will be back at some time, that we've made a permanent connection with beautiful souls that will always be a part of us.
So I do have a couple of things to add to that. And one is my gratitude and my hope to see you all again at some time in some period. It was truly it was a gas. It was really nice to be here. Even though it wasn't the best month in the world to be here, we're happy that we were here. But I want to touch on two things that James talked about, this morning. And the one that really stuck up for me was roll over. When he said, roll over and go back to sleep. And I thought to myself, what a metaphor. To roll over when you're in the midst of your dream and you realize you're in the midst of confusion or doubt or fear, remind yourself to roll over. Because we can change our illusion at any time we choose. But we can also tie down into the reality of who we really are, what we really are, by accepting that place in our lives where God is no longer a persona, but a force, a ceaseless, restless, creative force that flows through you. And when I heard, I don't think God cares, my heart was lifted up. Because I believe, like James, that God doesn't care. God doesn't love you. God is you. And therefore, when you express love, that's God expressing love. And the closest thing to being God is when we express and expand our love. Like I talked about the other day, we share love. And as we share that love, we are sharing God with each other. And God doesn't have to love me because you do. God is love in me, and I share it with you. And that's where, instead of a romantic love with a being out there that sits on a cloud somewhere with a book and a pen to write down everything you did wrong or right, both of those things, then we accept, conceptualize an entirely different idea of God. And God becomes much more than we ever thought before. Roll over.
Yeah, it's that same thing when Jesus said, turn another cheek. You know, it's changing perspective. There's always another view. And we have had an amazing perspective, a new view from this experience. You know, I'm reminded that when Thich Nhat Hanh said, know the source of your sorrow, and there your heart will hold space. And so anytime there is an ending, it is holding space for something new to begin. And I think that's what we're doing. And so we're holding space with each of you as we move away with a little bit of sorrow, but knowing that that space allows us to remain connected for when we will come back together in a new way. And there's a depth of that is comforting. So we hold space with you as we move forward.
Amen.
Amen? All right. So we would never trade that bit of sorrow for not having been with you. So we'll take the chance. We'll leap out in faith that love will always catch us, not as a personal person to catch us, but as a creative force in the universe, which is the safety net that is always there. And our job is to walk the plank, jump in.
Yeah, and thank you for that opportunity to leap off that plank.
Thank you. Wow, thank you. We've been so blessed by your presence here all month, and I can't wait to meet Jim. Is that who's?
Jim Lee.
Jim Lee, I hear, is fantastic. We're looking forward to him coming on Wednesday. And just the gratitude I feel for this entire Namaste community, both those who live here and those who are with us around the world. We are one, and we are deeply in love with each other, because that's all there is, that love radiating in every direction at once. And you've been part of that, and I have a feeling you're going to be back. Yeah. So you go off to Tacoma, do your thing, and then come back.
Visit in between.
Yeah, come back and just visit. Thank you, everyone. Blessed, so we are. Vicki, any final words from you? You're good. Okay. We are all so good. Look, it's right at 9:30. So we'll go ahead and just take a breath together and just welcome this divine light, the radiation of this divine love that is all around us in every moment, blessing us. I love what you just said, Michael, that God doesn't love us because we are that love, and God is nothing but love. So there's nothing to love outside of me, just love itself. We are love itself, radiating in all directions. So let's just be that. One more deep breath together. So it is. So we launch into a new week together as one. And as one, why don't we share our final prayer of protection? Here we go. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. Oops. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever God is, I am, and all is well. And so it is. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Happy Memorial Day.
Oh,
Thank you. Happy Memorial Day.
did we have a special thing? No? You thought what? Oh, okay. You're going to do it tonight. We have, as a celebration of Memorial Day, we have someone who's going to be playing taps for us.
Oh,
You want to,
nice.
you know how to sing it? Come on up. Okay, well, we'll do it after we stop the recording. All right, we love you guys. Have a beautiful
Happy
day.
Monday. Love you.
Bye.
Bye bye for now. I
Bye-bye.
love you all.